I cannot believe I'm about to do a video where I'm using the words feces, blood, sweat, human hair, semen, all in one go. Hello everyone, Sophia here, back with another Thread Daily. Now, if you told me a year ago that I would be doing a video on sperm plastic and human hair and sweat textiles, I probably wouldn't have believed you. Alas, here we are, so let's jump right in. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for finding sustainable alternatives to products that we know are detrimentally impacting our environment on a regular basis. But when reading about some of the latest advances in the field of eco-friendly materials yesterday, I can't deny having felt rather uncomfortable indeed. For starters, as scientists look for ways to reduce our dangerous reliance on plastic, an unlikely substance has emerged as a key player in its replacement. And no, I'm not talking about seaweed, bamboo, or my personal favorite, mushrooms, but sperm. That's right, in a paper published just last month, a team of scientists in China detailed how they've successfully developed a bioplastic made with DNA from semen. Now, before you teenage boys get any ideas and think you can start your own side hustle, I'm actually talking about fish semen, namely salmon semen. Rolls off the tongue there. How, you ask? By dissolving strands of the genetic material in water containing ionomers, a chemical that's commonly found in vegetable oil and adhesives. By mixing the two substances together, a gel is created that can then be molded into various shapes like the mug and the puzzle pieces the scientists have created to prove that their experiment works. The innovative process, called aqua welding, pretty cool name there, generates 97% less carbon emissions than manufacturing polystyrene plastic. The recyclable end product is reportedly more environmentally sustainable than every kind of plastic that we currently know of. Why? Because it's totally biodegradable and can be broken down using DNA digesting enzymes or by placing it in water. The latter converts the item into a soft gel once again, which means it can be reshaped into something entirely different. Maybe something a little bit more practical than a mug, which when you add water to is going to inevitably dissolve it. Anyone want any tea? And I'll just rock up with a sperm mug. Now, while this closed-loop system has its limitations, what's promising is the abundance of DNA as a raw material. With an estimated 50 billion tons of it on Earth, I don't think it's going to be long before we see sperm plastic hit the shelves. On this note, as unusual as the concept first seemed, I would say it's definitely a viable solution. One arguably nowhere near as stomach churning as designers using human hair and sweat to produce textiles. What? The bizarre new trend, fronted by Sofia and her company Human Material Loop, is seeking to tackle fashion's concerning waste problem. Now, don't even get me started on that. If you want to know more, you can read about it on our website. How? By turning the 72 million kilograms of human hair that's thrown out by European salons annually into clothes. Hair that almost always ends up in landfills, accumulates in solid waste streams, and chokes drainage systems. If you're a shedder like me, then you'll know what I'm talking about. I cannot count the amount of times that I've been on my hands and knees, plunging my shower drain, trying to get rid of all those clumps. That is disgusting. I'm not gonna say that.
I'm keeping that in.
To date, Collar has released one jumper prototype called Dutch Blonde. Aptly named, I should say, because it's made from 100% human hair collected in the Netherlands and then spun into yarn in Italy. Any hair that's too short to use is then repurposed as a natural fertilizer so it can be used as nitrogen for plants when it decomposes. On a mission to encourage us to be more open-minded to different materials, Collar wants us to think of the paradox. Human hair, a globally available material that is both cruelty-free and rich in keratin protein fibers, is being readily wasted while we continue to wear sheep or alpaca. While animal hair needs to be treated with chemicals to remove the blood and feces that end up in our water, human hair is pretty much ready to go. It only needs to be steamed. So, as I leave you to ponder this, let me get into something even weirder. Garments encrusted in crystals made from human perspiration. The brainchild of Alice Potts, she does this by asking athletes to don special gym wear, which they then exercise and sweat in. Then, once this becomes embedded in the material, she scrapes it, wrings it out into a container, and soaks up any excess liquid with microfiber towels. That's when she can begin the crystallization process. I've got to say, I'm not so sure about this one. Although both human hair and sweat textiles meet the circularity criteria, I must admit I find them a little harder to get on board with. And I'm left questioning whether we are so desperate in our fight to prevent climate change that eco-friendly materials made from the human body are all we can come up with. Yes, clothes made from human hair and sweat are progressive, not to mention inherently creative. But what will really make a difference, and I have said this time and time again, is continuing to advocate against mass consumption and overproduction. Until then, I suppose I'll have to work on my feelings of disgust. That's all from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you are curious to read more about this unusual topic, then check out the article on thread.com. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this video. Plus, you can follow us on socials if you're looking for more social change content like this. If you see me in the street, drinking from a spermy mug, wearing hair and sweat jumpers, then you know I've gone absolutely nuts. Bye!